Hello guys, welcome. It is Wednesday. Today we are going to go over some more fraction of problems, okay? So what I want you to have out in front of you is page 167. It is the page that I attached to our math lesson today, okay? So today what I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to at certain points ask you to pause the video and have you do your own work, okay? And the reason why I'm going to have you do that is because Miss Webster met with a lot of you yesterday on the Zoom, and I really praise those of you who are taking the opportunity out of your day to ask for help from Miss Webster, okay? So I want you to really be thinking today too that if you are still not understanding the material that I'm going over, then that is an indicator to me that you really need to hop on Zoom at 10 o'clock on Thursday to get some extra help, okay? So I'm going to try to help you guys monitor that today as we're working, okay? So again, we're on page 167. You should have this out in front of you while you are watching the video, okay? So here I again have these rules, okay? Where I have, it's telling me I want to find 1/5 of 10, okay? So when I see this word in and out, I like to go back to my scenario of Elsa's castle. Also, don't pay attention to this. I did an oopsie. Still making mistakes over here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Elsa's castle. And I'm going to think about that there are 10 people in her castle. And again, she wants 1/5 of 10 people in her castle to leave or to get out, okay? So what helps me are these little fraction bars or bar graphs here, okay? And this bar represents 10. It represents those 10 people that are in her house. So if she wants 1/5 of the 10 people to leave, it means that we have to split this into fifths, okay? Because she wants 1/5 to leave. So when I've split it into fifths, I then have to think about, well, each of these fifths are going to be equivalent to how many people? Well, I know 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So each of these are going to equal 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now, because 1/5 are going to leave, okay, then that means she's going to ask 2 people to get out. Okay, so we're going to do the next one together, and then I am going to have you guys do the rest on your own, okay? So I'm going to draw a little bar graph off to the side here, okay? And it's going to represent the 25 people that are inside Elsa's castle, okay? So 25 people are in her castle, and she wants 1/5 of the 25 people to get out, okay? Well, since we're still dealing with fifths here, we're going to break this into fifths. So I need to think about each of these sections of fifths are going to be worth how much, or how many people are going to be represented in each of these. Well, I know 25 divided by 5 equals 5. So each of these are going to be equivalent to 5. So because she's asking what is 1/5 of 25 that she wants to have taken out of her castle, we know that that's going to be 5, okay? So what I want you to do right now is I want you to go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to go ahead and solve 15, and I want you to go ahead and solve 30. Go. Okay, so hopefully you have started to maybe make a connection here. One thing that I see is that with 6 here, okay, it was asking what is 3/5 of 10, okay? So in our last problems, we noticed that we took the number that was in, okay, and we divided it by the denominator, okay? So if I do that here, okay, if this bar is going to be representing 10, okay, that means that I want to break this bar up into fifths, right? And I know that I want to think about what is 10 divided by 5, okay? Because you've got 10 and you're dividing it by 5. So I know 10 divided by 5 is 2. So that means each of these are 2, okay? But what I've noticed is on our last problem, it wanted to know what was 1/5, okay? This problem now wants to know what is 3/5. So I have to color in on my bar over here 3/5. So when I count up 2 plus 2 plus 2, that gives me 6, okay? So let's look at 25. Back over here, we said that we divided 5 by 25 and we got 5, okay? But that was for 1/5. So if we were going to do 3/5, it would mean that we would need to color in 3 of these. 5, 10, 15. That makes sense, okay? So for over here, we saw that 1/5 of 15 is 3. So then how did they get 9? Well, they then multiplied the 3 by the numerator, okay, which is 9. Okay, same with this one. Here, we'll draw it out. Here's my bar. It's equal to 30. Again, I want to split it into fifths. I want to split it up by my denominator. So I know 30 divided by 5 equals 6. So let's just double check here. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Okay, well over here we said 1/5 is equal to 6, but 3/5 would be equal to 6, 12, 18. Okay, so now let's go on to number 3. Okay, so right off the bat, it's asking for 2/3 of 9. So let's think about how they got 2/3 of 9, okay, and that they got 6. Well, back to my bar here. Thirds are easy to draw. Okay. Elsa has 9 people in her castle. Okay, and she's going to ask 2/3 to leave. So this group is going to leave. Okay, so we need to think about what each group of third is. How many people are in each third? Okay, well, we do that by saying 9 divided by those 3 groups. So what is 9 divided by 3? It's 3. So each of these groups is equivalent to 3. So this group plus this group, 3 plus 3 equals 6. Okay? How'd she get 16 out of 24? Well, again, this is going to be 24. I'm breaking it into thirds, and I want to know what 2/3 is. Okay, so I have to first think about what is 24 divided by 3. Well, 24 divided by 3 equals 8. Okay, I didn't mean to color all those in. I meant to just look at these two. 8 plus 8 equals 16. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video momentarily. I'm actually going to draw a small bar graph here to set you up, okay? It's going to be equal to 12, okay? And we want to know what is 2/3, okay? So Elsa has 12 people in her castle, and she wants 2/3 to leave. So right now I want you to figure out, pause the video, how many people are leaving? Go. Okay, so I first know that I need to take 12 and I need to divide it by 3. So when I take 12 and I divide it by 3, that means that each group, and I'm sorry it's hard to see here, is going to be 4. So if I'm going to focus on 2/3, then 4 plus 4 equals 8. Okay? So let's think here. I'm trying to kind of get away from my bar graphs here because I'm losing room. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say 6 divided by 3 because, again, I know that I'm taking this number and I'm breaking it into thirds. Okay? So 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So now if I think about that 2 would be how much is in each group, okay? Then 2/3 would be 4. Okay, so we are going to move on to number 4. And if you notice now it says 3/4 times, because remember in my other video, of is the same as times, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to set you up with the first problem here, okay? And then I'm going to have you work on your own, okay? So Elsa's got 8 people in her castle, okay? Actually, I'll put this down here. Okay, so if I draw a bar graph, or a fraction bar, I should say, not a bar graph. Fraction bar, I always get that wrong. Fraction bar here. Okay, I know I'm going to split it into fourths. Okay, and I know that I want to know 3/4 of 8. Okay, well, I first have to think about what is 8 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 divided by 4 equals 2. So each group here is equal to 2. So if I want to know what is 3/4, I want to know this section. Well, 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. Okay? So I want you to go ahead and I want you to stop the video right here. And I want you to solve the rest of this table. Go. Okay, so welcome back. Hopefully you have solved the rest of this table. All right, so I'm going to continue showing fraction bars because I think that is going to help most people here until you kind of get the hang of the pattern. Okay, so I have 3/4 of 20. Okay, so I'm going to draw a fraction bar, which is equivalent to 20. Okay, 20 is my whole. I'm breaking it into fourths. Okay, because I want to know what is 3/4 times 20. This is the section that I want to know about. Okay, so I first want to know what is 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So each section is equivalent to 5. Okay, so instead of saying 5 plus 5 plus 5, whenever we are counting or adding repeatedly, repeated addition, the other thing that we can say is 5 times 3. And that's 15. Okay? So 3/4 of 20 is 15. That makes sense. Okay? So let's move on to 16. 16 people are in her castle. She wants 3/4 out. Okay. So I want to know what is 16 divided by 4 first. That's 4. So each group is equivalent to 4. So I want to know what is 3/4. So I want to know what is 4 times 3. And that's 12. So 3/4 of 16 is 12. Hopefully this is starting to make sense to you. Let's do the last one, okay? Fraction bar here, equivalent to 28. Elsa wants 3/4 out. Okay, so she wants all these guys out. 28 divided by 7 is 4. I did that wrong. I apologize. I gave you the answer. 28 divided by 4 equals 7. Guys, I'm still human here. Still human over here. So each of these sections is 7. Okay. I want to know what 3/4 is, so I want to know what 7 times 3 is, and that's 21. So 3/4 of 28 is 21. Okay, hopefully this is starting to get a little bit easier. Okay, so the last thing we are going to do is we are going to take and apply what we know up here into an actual situation where we would have to use this method of multiplying a fraction by a whole number. So, number 5 says, Stella had a carton of 12 eggs. Okay, I'm picturing right now a carton of 12 eggs, and she's using 4/6 of the eggs to bake bread for a bake sale. That's so funny because my husband has been on a real bread baking kick right now. He's even grown his own yeast. I didn't even know you could grow your own yeast. But anyway, so we've been going through eggs like crazy. Okay. So the first thing that it wants to know is how many eggs are 1/6 of the carton. So I guess what that is asking is, what is 1/6 of 12? Okay. So now for B, it's asking, how many eggs did Stella use for the bread? Well, again, she used 4/6 of the eggs, so she used 4/6 of 12. Okay, so right now I want you to pause the video and I want you to go ahead and solve these. Okay, so right now you should have an answer. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to pretend this is a carton of eggs. And I'm going to break the carton of eggs into 6. Okay. Okay. And so the first part asks, what is 1/6 of 12? Well, the other way of asking that is 12 divided by 6, which is 2. Okay. So you can always check your work by skip counting, okay, to make sure that this is equivalent to 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 1/6 of 12, I look here, is 2. So now what is 4/6 of 12? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. So she used 8 eggs to bake her bread, okay? So now, very easily, it wants us to write a multiplication number for the problem, okay? Well, a multiplication number model would just be taking out the of, because remember, when we are multiplying fractions, whenever we see that word of, what is 4/6 of 12? It's really asking us, what is 4/6 times 12, okay? And we said 4/6 times 12 is 8. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and have you, for your work today, you are going to solve number 6 on your own, and I'm also going to assign a home links today, okay? So whenever I'm assigning 2 sheets, whenever you go into your activity, make sure you press the arrow to the right to go on to the next page. A lot of you, when you turned in your work, you only did the first page and not the second. So make sure that you're looking to see if there's a second page. Okay? So again, if this is something that you're still feeling a little iffy on, make sure you are getting on Zoom tomorrow to get some help from Miss Webster. Okay? So I will hopefully not hear from Miss Webster that people are tearing their hair out with frustration. So enjoy the beautiful weather tomorrow. I think it might be a little rainy, but also a little bit sunny, but it's gonna be warm. Okay, so make sure you get outside too. I'll see you later, guys.